How to win stat games. In this video, we're going to be learning how Cami and Seti easily won this FNCS Heat stacked game to be the first team to qualify for FNCS Grand Finals. As always, they land their split drop south of fence and fields. If they're uncontested, they loot separate areas to ensure faster looting. It's really important that you find the most optimal loot path for your drop spot. If you do this, you're already going to be at an advantage over nearby teams. You will get free rotates by rotating first. You're not going to be snuck up on whilst looting, but you can sneak up on slow looters or third party at a fight. They prioritize getting metal off spawn until they're both max. Having a drop spot with this much metal is so beneficial as it means you don't have to rotate anywhere mid game to farm. There's a lot of drop spots on the map that don't have metal, so all these people will be rotating to metal spots. If you get your metal off spawn, you can use this to your advantage. You can either avoid these spots entirely, or you can either control them to get Stormsurge tags. Talking about effective looting, Seti finishes his looting and then uses a flowberry and launch pads to gain all this distance and get himself in a really good position. In these stacked games, there's often Stormsurge all game, so they get straight in to get an early surge tags. Zone pulls bottom left, so what they do is base up on the edge of zone, knowing all these players from the right side of the map are going to be rotating into them. Bushes are really OP with Stormsurge because you keep the unpredictability. If you're in a box and edit, the enemy's going to see this and cover themselves. For this reason, they also use the new bush item in their Stormsurge bases. Next important thing is to be elevated with good coverage. This is often hills or mountains where you can see the most map possible. They pull zone again, so further hold the teams coming in. They don't want to rotate blindly, so before zone closes in, they check if anyone's going to hold them in the position they want to get in. The one's in the base, so they have a simple rotate, and again, base up in a bush, but also on edge. As again, all these teams will have to rotate into them, meaning they can get easy Stormsurge tags. In these Stormsurge games, if you choose to get long-range tags rather than fight a team for your damage, you also need to be carrying long-range weapons, like Cami and Seti are doing. Cami is carrying a DMR, whereas Seti is carrying water bending and a sniper. Two things to note here are none of these weapons use the same ammo, so they don't have to use it sparingly and miss out on tags. But these guns suck close range, so they choose to take the auto and gatekeeper because of the fire rate. Due to this well-executed Stormsurge plan, they go into 6th zone, 1000 damage above. As the zone pulled down, this is the congested side of zone, and Cami and Seti are on dead side, which means when zone is revealed, they rotate straight away. Common mistake people make is not using their fizz mid-game and thinking they have to save it for endgame. The quicker a rotate is, the less chance of you taking damage. But if you're ahead of everyone and rotate first, you want to maintain this advantage. If you rotate on foot, but all these teams behind you use fizz, they're going to catch up to you and jump on you from behind. Seti builds in with soft mats here, one because he don't want to be greedy and die, but two because he can refarm. As they have enough surge, this time they decide to go deeper into zone rather than stay on edge. This is one, to refarm, but two, to get themselves in a dead side position. Because of this one decision, they are able to stay dead side for the rest of the game. A lot of these teams will die. Cami and Seti can wrap around left completely untouched. Again, even though they have a free rotate, they still use fizz to ensure a faster rotate. If you searched up dead side in the Fortnite dictionary, this would come up. Because of this, once again, they have a free rotate to next zone. Zone then pulls away from them, so they have to start coming into the congestion. Because they've played dead side pretty much all game and refarmed, they have amazing mats going into endgame and don't need a refresh. It means they can play on a high layer, which you always want to do when you have mats, because if you go low ground, it's all the scuffed teams with no builds just jumping in people's boxes to get a refresh. But also by being on a high layer, you're giving yourself the best opportunity to take high ground. There's two main ways to take height in the current meta: getting front side and holding the team on height, or coming up from behind or below using fizz and bananas. As it's first game of heats and everyone's trying to get height for their win condition, Cami and Seti choose the first option and get front side and chop them out. Important technique here is whilst one sprays, the other one has to build up to make sure you take height from the current height team, but also to make sure no one else goes for it. From here, it's easy if you use the right height fundamentals. Create angles to make sure no teams sneak up on you, but also to pressure opponents below. The more work you do now, the less you'll have to do later. Comment high ground if you're still here so I know who my loyal viewers are. Here they actually nearly lose the game as they both go to fizz but then get chopped out. However, when you're on height and dropping down, the opponent's not going to know where you drop, meaning you can often get the first shot, meaning you're probably going to win. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and then also turn on notifications so you don't miss any more videos like this one.